All right, guys, today I'm going to be drawing a couple really efficient offensive red zone plays. So first, what is red zone? Well, red zone is anywhere from the 20-yard line and in. That is the red area of the field, meaning the parts of the field where the yards are more crucial to get. And it kind of becomes of a tighter space when you're down by the end zone because it acts like another sideline. So this first one is maybe the most common. All right, this first play that we are going to draw will be in 12 personnel. This is maybe the most common red zone play. 2 runs, some 12 personnel, 2 tight ends in line like we learned last video. If you watched, if you haven't, go watch. And then we're going to have center, guard, tackle, quarterback, running back, wide receiver. There we go. 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back, 1, 2, 12 personnel. Okay. So what are we going to do? Now we draw our defense. They're probably going to want to match. So they might go tackle, edge, Mike, Sam, Will, corner, probably free safety over here, strong safety, corner. They're probably going to want to match personnel. This is a 4-3 defense to match our 12 personnel. So what we're going to do, this play all comes down to this corner right here. We're going to make him make a decision. What we're going to do is have you chip and then release out to the flat, and then you're going to get vertical on a corner route, and this will be worked off of play action. We'll draw that in red. There we go, play action. And then this far receiver really isn't in the read. This doesn't matter. You can have him on whatever, but why the play depends on this corner so much? Well, we have a 2-on-1, 2-1. We have the numbers game. If this corner drops back to take that vertical corner route, this flat will be wide open. Now, if he sits flat foot on this flat route after he chips and release, we'll have this corner route on the inside pylon shoulder. That free safety is going to be sitting flat foot if it's man, or even if it's zone, you'll be able to hit him in that area. So it essentially creates what we call a high-low. Corner goes low, you throw it high. Corner goes high, you throw it low. This is, the most basic red zone play you could run. Look up any team. I'm sure you have seen this play somewhere before, whether it was in Madden or whatever the case may be. And blocking scheme-wise, you probably just go 5-0 protection here and just get a guy on somebody here because it's just going to be a straight 3-step hitch, or even really off a play action, a 2-step hitch essentially. But this play is maybe the most efficient when you're, we'll say, about 5 to 8 yards from the red zone. This play is just really good at creating 2-on-1s, read the high-low, quarterback makes the right read, whether that's to that pylon or if it's out to that flat. All right, next up, we are going to call a bunch formation. So once again, center, tackle, or guard, tackle, inline receiver, and then the bunch. And then we'll have quarterback in the shotgun. We'll have receiver on the tight end side like this. Now this is 11 personnel. Last one was 12 personnel. This is 11 personnel. We have 1 back, 1 tight end, 11 personnel. So now this one is going to get a little bit more complicated route-wise. We're going to have a zig route from the tight end. We're going to have a swing route from the running back. We're going to have a speed in. It's very important that it's a speed in, and I'll explain why. We're going to have another zig route, and then we're going to have a corner route about the same distance as the speed in, maybe a little shorter. Now, the reason why we do the speed in, if we draw the... Oh, whoops, I got these linebackers flipped. All right, so what we're trying to do on this play is we are trying to stretch you out this way and stretch you up this way and essentially keep this wheel sitting right here so we can hit right here on this zig route or over here on this zig route. So it'd be the same thing. If they're running man, we want to bring the Sam linebacker down to the running back, create a one-on-one with the corner on the tight end, have him be a big body, box him out, catch the pass. Now, why this has to be a speed in is because you want this will to sit right here. So so this route can come open underneath. And the reason why you want this corner route going about the same length is if they've rotated down to, we'll say, cover 3, where it's like this, third, whatever, you want this nickel to drift over to that corner route to stretch him to throw here. So you have one or two windows. You could throw here underneath if the will sits. You could throw it here if the nickel stretches, or you could throw it here if you have a one-on-one with the corner, or of course, you could obviously check down to the back here. Okay, so here's a really good man beater down here in the low red area. So as always, center, tackle guard, quarterback, we're gonna go split backfield, tight end. So now this is going to be 21 personnel. We have 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 21 personnel. And then we'll have a receiver on this side, and we'll have a receiver on this side. So why I say this is going to be a good man-beating play, we're going to have this running back kick out to the flat like so. We're going to have this receiver run like a kind of a speed kind of in. It's not necessarily a slam, but it's not really just a straight-up in route either. We're going to have zig route. Now, why are zig routes so good down in the low red area? Well, what they essentially do is stretch the defense, because if you're running cover 2, they're going to come in and they're not going to expect you to go back out. So you're essentially stretching the zone thin, and then you're going to find the free space. So then we're going to have another. This is kind of like a play that the Bills would run. I see split backfields. I think of the Buffalo Bills a lot because they run quite a bit of split backfield personnel. So now this is good man beating, because if we draw our defense, they're going to match personnel, right? So they're going to have 4 down linemen, the Mike, Sam, the Will, corner. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got free safety, strong safety. Okay. So if they come out in this defense and they're running man and we're running flat routes, okay, well, let's just say the same linebacker is responsible for this running back. If they're running man, through all this traffic we got going on, how are they going to keep up with him running to the flat at full speed? Same with this Will. If you are manned up on this running back, here, let's change it so you guys can keep up here so we don't get things mixed up. If we have this Will linebacker on this running back, how is he going to keep up if he's manned up? Because in man, you're going to be base aligned, meaning the Will be on this, Sam would be on this running back, and the Mike will have the tight end, who we haven't really put on a route, but I'll get to it. Now, if he's running full sprint to this pylon, how is he going to come all the way across formation to try to get to him? That's what this is. It's essentially what you want to do if you're this receiver is create a rub right here, meaning you want to get in the way, not necessarily a pick play, but a pick play, just a legal pick play. You don't want to push anyone out their way because that'd be called PI, obviously, but you just want to get in the way of the safety. You want to take this corner with you if you're running man, so he's going to follow you, and you want to make this Will's life hell to try to get through you to get to this running back who's sprinting full speed to the pylon. Now, obviously, as always, if it's man and you like this matchup over here, you would throw that zig route. But I think your first read is definitely right here, or you could even do right here. Just any one of these routes are going to torch the Sam and the Will because they have a bunch of traffic that they have to maneuver through, And as terms as the safeties go, it's honestly even better if the safeties are lined up on the backs, because then they have even more traffic to get through. So it really depends on what personnel they come out in defense. If they come out in nickel, they might have a chance to stop it, but with two running backs in the backfield and the tight end, they're going to want to try to match heavy front. So I just think this is the best way to beat, a 4-3 defense in man. All right, guys, last one I got for you. We are going to go empty front this time, meaning quarterback, receiver, 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 receiver. We have all 5 guys on line, wide receivers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I almost thought he was a tight end. It's a receiver. We have no running back, so we are in 0-0 personnel, 0-0, okay? Now, this is going to be called stick. You might have heard of it before. You're going to have up and you're going to sit. You're going to have a go on the outside a little bit. Now, depending on, where you are in the red zone, this could also become an end. It could become a corner. I mean, there's so many variations that you could run stick out of with that far guy. You're going to have a slant on the inside, slant on the back side like so, and then a flat route like this. So over here is kind of your man beater. Over here is kind of your zone beater, because depending on the zone, I mean, he could run it more inside like this and sit. He could sit where he is. This is kind of more the zone side, whether they sit or they go. And then this is the man side, because you have a flat sprinting to the pylon with a corner with kind of a short post over top of it. Now, what is the purpose of running 5 wide? Well, now you have to run nickel as a defense because, there's 5 receivers on the field. Nickel, like we learned, 5 corners. So maybe they'll bring the free safety up a little bit. They'll bring the strong safety up. You got their nickel having to guard the slot guy. You know, another corner. Now, this is what the defense has to come out into max personnel. You see how thin they are across the board? You got a corner right here, corner right here. The nickel is having to go online to come guard the slot guy. And you have a corner out wide. Your safeties are going to have to be in further in, as opposed to being, 8 to 12 yards back. They're going to maybe have to be more so 5 to 8 yards in. So what this is going to do is create a bunch of problems, because if you run man, okay, well, who's going to get this guy right here? The Mike linebacker? That's who you're going to put on a receiver? Or you're going to put the Mike on the slot and go cross man? Well, the Mike isn't going to beat this guy over to the pylon, that's for sure. And this guy is taking the corner out of the play. So there's not much you can really do as a defense when we're running 5 wide and you have to stretch your defense thin. We have the advantage. Your nickel is maybe your best option in coverage, because he's probably able to remove this guy out of the play completely. But what about over here? What if he goes high, gets the corner stacked, and beats him to the pylon? Tutty, barbecue chicken. So there's an array of things that we could do. And if they sit back and cover 2, meaning drop back, soft squat, underneath, like so. If they run cover 2, okay, well, we'll just throw this little button route right here, or we'll throw this slant right before it hits the mic, because he's going to have to pull back this way to the soft squat. And if he sits on this, like I said, who's going to cover the flat? Now, 5 wide is maybe not the best thing to run when you're right up on the red zone or on the goal line, because you don't want to throw errant interceptions. Super Bowl 49. Who said that? That was weird. But it's really good because you force them to have to stretch thin, and it's just the numbers game favors you over them, because there's not much they could really do as the defense. So if it's man, you're looking here. If it's zone, you're probably looking here on the button route. Or if you got man and you got, maybe this is like A.J. Brown over here, you could probably throw this. So this is maybe super efficient from the 10 to the 15-yard line when you're not down in the condensed, super condensed part of the field, but you also still have more room to work with. Get that defense stretched, have your quarterback do a little 3-step hitch, make his read, and he's going to have to decide quick, because if it's zone, fire it to the button route. If it's man, you got this, throw it to the pylon. There's a bunch of things that you could do. But that's going to be the video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown. I'm going to be doing a bunch more whiteboard stuff, because I love explaining football in this kind of manner. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, share it to your grandma. Maybe she's an Eric the Enemy fan. I don't know.